Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gen X Lounge, the bi-weekly podcast where we discuss the pop culture of today and look back at the pop culture yesterday. Mostly we just shoot the shit. This is episode 38. I am Brian, and with me, in case you can't hear him, it's Bolo.
Hello.
Hi, Bolo.
Always a pleasure to hang out with you guys. I apologize for my heavy boxing in between round breathing.
Jesus Christ. And Quinn's here too.
What's going on, fella?
Hello. I started recording, and I don't know why, because I wasn't ready to record. So there's like a solid 15 seconds of just dead silence before anything happened.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to have to go back and fix that.
I noticed.
It wasn't filled with my breathing.
No, I was like, why the fuck did I hit the button now? I don't.
And I was like, does he know that nothing's happening? Because we're muted, so we can't let him know. I'm like, does he think music is playing?
I realized it. I was just having a panic moment. So anyway, episode 38, and we are going to talk. We got some RIPs, unfortunately, and a really big one. We got some decent amount of news, and then we're going to talk at the very end of the episode, so that if you don't want spoilers, that will be the last segment of the episode. It will be a little bit of Reacher and a lot of Daredevil, because the first 3 episodes of Daredevil are out. That means Bolo, for the love of God, please don't accidentally drop any spoilers till we talk about Daredevil, because then I'm going to have to go and edit it out. So be careful. I know you're excited. We're all excited.
So wait a minute. When can we we Daredevil?
We will let you know.
When I say, hey guys, let's talk about Daredevil. But for the listeners who don't want spoilers, because I feel like you can't talk about the show at all without it's got to have spoilers.
No, you can't. But what are you opening the bag of chips, Chris? What is happening?
What is happening? This man is opening his mail.
I was checking something to make sure it wasn't something else.
Okay.
You want to make sure he didn't get called for jury duty. He just thought about it right now.
Yeah. Yes. Black folks don't like court that much. So
speaking of Daredevil, called to jury duty. But yeah, that'll be the end. That will be the last segment. We're going to do it out of order. So we're going to flip-flop back in the day and what we're watching, so that what we're watching will be the last segment of the show. So you can listen to all of the show and then turn it off at the Daredevil spoilery part if you don't want to hear spoilers. So yeah, that's that. Enough explaining. I've over-explained it now.
It's cute that you think people make it to the end of the show.
I know.
Hey, I like to think that we're a pretty exciting podcast, guys.
I mean, so far it's been very exciting. Tune in next week to find out if Bolo did in fact get called to jury duty. All right, let's do news. Oh, and I guess Dutch isn't here, obviously, but he may join us later. But if he does join us later, he'll be cutting out early because he also doesn't want Daredevil spoilers, and he's not seen Daredevil yet. So, yeah. So, we got some RIPs. The first RIP is a name you probably don't know, but a face that you probably do know. It's Eileen Dietz, who is the actress best known for playing Pazuzu in the 1973 Exorcist. Fuck.
So the voice coming through
no
the child
face in that flashes on the screen from time to time.
Oh, okay. Just
Except
the almost subliminal little face.
Yeah, except I'm wrong and I didn't read my notes properly. She's not dead. She celebrated her 80th birthday. We should just start this entire fucking podcast. What is happening right now? I didn't even read my own goddamn note.
Oh, that is legit.
Happy 80th birthday to Eileen Dietz. May you have many more birthdays.
Brian, you're a murderer, bro.
of-
You're killing her, people.
The opposite of dying. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. But
and watch out for next time.
Next episode.
Her days are numbered.
God almighty. Jesus Christ. So anyway, yeah, she's that Pizzazu face is pretty scary. I remember the first time I saw The Exorcist, that is one of the scariest parts in the movie, is when that face flashes on the screen.
It's very unnerving.
Mm-hmm. That's a great.
That whole movie is unnerving.
Yeah.
Wait, we're talking The Exorcist, correct?
Yes, The Exorcist.
19. Okay, Linda Blair Exorcist.
Yeah, that Exorcist. Yeah, you know, every now and then, it's like a split second. Blink if you miss it. This face will appear on the screen. It happens 3 or 4 times in the movie.
Yeah,
that's her. She's the Pizzazu, who's the demon that possesses Reagan. Where
did you find that info?
Probably on an 80s Reddit page or something like that.
That's something that could totally be made up and no one will ever check. But still, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Miss Dietz.
Yes, Miss Dietz. Happy birthday.
Yes.
All right. Now, sadly, we do have some RIPs. We have the RIP Michelle Trachtenberg, who first, I think a lot of millennials would know her as Harriet the Spy, which was a popular kids show. Obviously, we didn't watch that growing up, but I did see a lot of people saying a lot of stuff about Harriet the Spy. She was obviously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Gossip Girl. She was in Eurotrip, right?
I remember her from Eurotrip. I knew that she was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I remember Harriet the Spy. I didn't know that was her until she died.
Yeah.
And I saw the obit. But I think I was working in a movie theater maybe when that came out. Maybe not, but I was aware of her. I remember that poster.
Well, I think Harriet the Spy was it a show or was it a movie?
I think it was a kids movie. Am I wrong?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I just know that she played her.
Yeah.
And then of course the big one, rest in peace, Gene Hackman, who was found dead along with his wife. On February, he died on February 17th. He wasn't found on February 17th, unfortunately. He had been dead for a few weeks, they're saying now.
Yeah, that whole story is terrible.
It's crazy. At first it was people were suspecting it was carbon monoxide poisoning because it was his wife, him, and a dog that were dead.
Sure.
And then they did a press conference. I think it was just last week where they announced the findings. So apparently his wife, who was younger than him, she was 63. She died first of hantavirus, which you get from mouse droppings. And it's got like 42% fatality rate. So if you get it, your chances aren't good. But also they're saying she probably didn't realize that's what she had until it was too late because it presents as like a really bad like cold.
Flu.
Flu. So yeah, and then he lived, they're saying, for like another week after she died. But he had pretty advanced Alzheimer's. They're saying his stomach was empty when he died, which means he probably hadn't barely been eating. But he did die of heart failure or a heart attack. But that's just god awful. Like,
it's a horrible way to go. The poor dog. I don't even want to talk about the dog.
The dog was locked in a crate, and obviously couldn't get out, so the dog died.
It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's just the whole situation just sucks. Like I was telling Quinn before the show started, I watched a bunch of Gene Hackman stuff over the last 2 weeks. I watched Crimson Tide, which prior to me watching it, I had never seen.
Really?
Which is insane. Yeah. And he's great in that.
Yeah.
I'd never seen it all the way through. Like I'd come across
He's
him.
such a dick in that movie.
Yes, he is.
From the first scene he's in throughout the whole movie, he's such a dick.
Yeah, he is.
But also fantastic.
Yeah, but he's a dick, and he's not like evil, because like
no,
he thinks he's doing the right thing
right
throughout the movie. He's just wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and maybe a little racist.
Yes, he did. He did punch Denzel in the face.
Yeah, that's a bit of a theme with Gene Hackman movies. But,
yeah. Well, he wasn't every man.
That's true.
But yeah, so Gene Hackman, two-time Oscar winner, won a Best Actor for his role in The French Connection, where he played Jimmy Popeye Doyle, which came out in 1971, and then he won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar for Unforgiven, and I watched both of those also.
So good in that.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I think we talked about French Connection a couple of episodes ago.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what killed him.
Because his birthday had come. Well, because I think it was when we were talking about his birthday, and I think me and you agreed, Quinn, that it wasn't very good, right?
I was very unimpressed.
Yeah. So I watched it again with a fresh set of eyes, and a little older, because the last time I watched it, was probably like 25 years ago.
Right.
And it's fine. I could see where in 1971 it would have been a big deal. It as like a police, mystery type of movie holding up now. There's a lot of stuff that's like, okay, but it's fine. I was entertained. At no point was I bored or anything like that.
Going into that movie, all I'd heard is that it has one of the best car chases in movie history, and that Gene Hackman won an Oscar for it. So you're expecting a certain quality of movie, and it's just like you said, it's just fine. It's not so. Yeah. It's if I had no expectations going in, maybe I would have liked it better. But it's very dated. And it's just kind of sedate. There's nothing overtly wrong with it, except for the super casual racism.
He is casually racist. But again, it's 1971, and he's a cop in New York. But
by casual, I don't mean gentle. I just mean like natural. Like it's just comes real easy.
He's just racist. Yeah. The car chase. It's a fun car chase, but it's not. First off, it's not really a car chase because he's chasing a train. He's in a car. He's in a car chasing a train.
Right.
But it's fine. It's exciting. He swerves all over the road. He crashes multiple times. All that's fine and good.
That's one
also,
done.
but like you said, he also won Best Actor.
Right.
And I was like 3/4 of the way through it, and I was like, he's not really doing anything in this movie. Like,
no, he doesn't talk a lot.
There's nothing in it that makes you stand out and be like, man, he is just like acting the shit out of this part. Like, it's just fine. Like, I don't know who he was up against that year. And obviously I don't want to smirch him for winning Best Actor, but like, I don't know. Like, you think Best Actor now and you're like, dude, somebody who like really went balls to the wall for something. And like, I don't know. Like, it's just a fine part. He's not, I don't know.
So there must have been something in the culture at that time where that movie really struck a chord or was like revolutionary in some way. And him winning is like part of that, the wave of that going on. Because I had the same thing as you. I was just like, okay, I don't see what the big deal is about it.
Yeah.
But I think I saw it in the early 2000s also, So.
Yeah. The bad guys in the movie are also French, obviously, in case you couldn't. But it's interesting and somewhat maddening that there are long stretches of the movie where characters are only speaking in French and none of it is subtitled.
Yeah.
And it's just like 5-minute long segments that where I guess you're just supposed to kind of like glean what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Watching it. And I just think it's so weird. At one point, I turned the subtitles on because I was like, is this fucked up somehow? And if I have the subtitles on, it'll give me the subtitles. And no, it didn't. It just says like speaking French.
Like,
so
it was by design.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. Anyway, here's some Gene Hackman trivia. In 1946, at the age of 26, he left home at the age of 26. My ass, God, I can't type. In 1946, at the age of 16, he left home and lied about his age to enlist in the Marines, where he served 4.5 years as a field radio operator stationed in China, Hawaii, and Japan. In 1956, he joined the Pasadena Playhouse, where he befriended another young wannabe actor by the name of Dustin Hoffman.
Yep.
Him and Dustin Hoffman were voted least likely to succeed by their fellow acting classmates.
They voted both of them? That's a weird thing.
Two douchebags. I don't know. Hackman got various bit roles in film and on television. Performed in some off-Broadway plays. His first was The Saintliness of Marjorie Kemp in 1959.
My favorite.
In 1963, he made his Broadway debut in Children from Their Games. What? I don't know. It was a big success. And in 1964, he also starred in another Broadway play called Any Wednesday. His first credited film role was in a movie called Lilith with Warren Beatty as the lead actor. He went back to Broadway in 1967. He went back to Broadway, and in 1967 was cast as Mr. Robinson in The Graduate, but was fired for being too young. So that would have been a pretty big role for him at the time. But he did get buddy. It was buddy Dustin, yeah. And as consolation, he did get to appear in an episode of the television series The Invaders called The Spores, which I'm sure is good.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah. Then he
never heard of the show or the episode.
The Invaders? You never heard of The Invaders?
No.
He got the role of Buck Barrow in Bonnie and Clyde in 1967, which earned him his first Academy Award nomination.
Another Warren Beatty. I wonder if they were buds.
Yeah, probably. His second nomination was 1970 for supporting actor in a movie called I Never Sang for My Father. In 1971, he starred in The Doctor's Wives and The Hunting Party. Have you ever seen The Hunting Party? It's a fucking great Western.
Yeah.
With Sybil Shepherd. And
yes, I have seen it.
I don't know who else, but man, it's good. He plays Sybil Shepherd's dickish husband, and Sybil Shepherd gets kidnapped, but then she ends up falling for the kidnapper, and he is the husband that will stop at no cost to get her back, even when it's apparent she doesn't really want to come back.
Right.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really, really good. And then in 71, he was also obviously in The French Connection, where he won his first Oscar. And then over the next 3 years, he starred in 10 movies, making him the most prolific actor in Hollywood during that time frame. So, and I mean, you can just rattle off any number of movies. I also watched The Quick and the Dead, which is another Western that.
Well, what's your favorite?
Directed by Sam Raimi. Definitely, my favorite role of his.
Yeah, or give me your top three.
Probably Little Bill.
Yeah.
In
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven is incredible, and that's another guy who's like in Crimson Tide, who isn't necessarily like a bad guy.
Right.
He thinks he's just doing the right thing. I mean, he does beat Morgan Freeman to death, but I mean, so there's also
that casual racism.
There's also a little racism there. But yeah, he's great in that. He's awesome in Mississippi Burning. I love that.
Yes,
movie. That's a great movie. Like you
what's
were
his
saying,
part in that?
I'm going to go with casual racist.
Okay.
No, he's like a good guy in Mississippi Burning.
I know. I'm teasing.
Yeah. He's also, he's Lex Luthor.
I wonder if he did that because of
you know,
his history.
Yeah. Obviously, he was Lex Luthor in 3 movies. And like he's probably not my favorite Lex Luthor, but I mean he's so good in it, and he's obviously having a really good time with it. So,
who's your favorite if not him?
I mean, I guess it would have to be him, wouldn't it? If we're counting only live action, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Michael Rosenbaum's great in Smallville.
Yes, he is. He nails
it.
He was really good in it, yeah.
But Lex Luthor in the original Superman, dude, and also Superman 2.
Yeah.
It's priceless. He's so funny. He's so good.
When he's interacting with Zod and the villains.
Yeah. But whenever whenever he's just talking to Superman, his attitude is awesome. You know what I mean? He's like
not scared.
He's amused the whole time. He's sarcastic.
It's so good. He
doesn't sound maniacal.
He was in all but 3 because he refused to come back to do part 3. But then they basically cast somebody else to play like the Lex Luthor part. Isn't him, but and then he came back and did 4 for some reason. Nuclear Man.
Yeah, nuclear.
He's in Wyatt Earp briefly as Wyatt Earp's dad in an early scene in the beginning of the movie. He's awesome he's good in Enemy of the State.
Yeah, he's great in that.
Well, he's Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner. He was with Kevin Costner in No Way Out way back when.
Yep.
Which is a great movie.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. He's in Get Shorty.
Yeah, he's funny in that.
Yep. He's in like we said, The Firm.
I am waiting for you to mention The Birdcage.
Yeah,
because
he's
so funny in that movie.
Yep, my mother loved that movie.
It's probably, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably my favorite comedy of all time.
Oh man,
really?
Robin Williams.
Yeah,
Robin Williams, Nathan Lane.
It's one of those. It just snowballs. It just gets crazier and crazier and funnier by the end. When all the shit hits the fan, it's just, I love it so much. Makes me laugh.
He's just so good in like he's in Young Frankenstein and he's so funny in that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's the blind man, right?
Yeah, he's like the Igor type dude, I think.
Well, he's like the blind man where Frankenstein, the monster, shows up at his door.
Yeah.
He's trying to befriend the monster.
Yeah. He's in the Poseidon Adventure as the Reverend, the original Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he's in Marooned.
Royal Tenenbaums. He's funny as shit in Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah, he's in a movie called Marooned, which is also has Gregory Peck in it.
I don't know. I've seen that.
Probably the best cast of any movie. It was actually nominated for an Oscar for visual effects. It came out in 1969, and it was probably the best acted and most acclaimed movie ever riffed on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Maroon?
Yeah, well, they riffed a version of it called Stranded in Space, but it's still Marooned. It's the same movie. It's just with a different title for some reason.
Right.
And then his last movie, which is actually pretty good, is Welcome to Mooseport, which is actually a pretty funny movie.
With Ray Romano.
He plays the ex-president, running for mayor of a small town. And speaking of presidents, he's also the president in the Clint Eastwood movie, Absolute Power, which is another great fucking movie. Where he just elevates any movie he's in. Did you see Ray Romano talking about him? No.
Recently in the postmortem. It was funny. He was talking about for Welcome to Mooseport, they had like a dinner the night before they were starting shooting, and it was Ray Romano's first movie. Yeah. So he got up. He said Hackman didn't say a word to him, and Hackman was sitting on the other side of the table from him at the restaurant, like it was cast and crew and everything. And Ray Romano got up to say a couple words and said like something along the lines of that. Thanks everybody. It's my first movie. And he said he heard Gene Hackman on the other end of the table, like, "Oh, for Christ's sake," or something.
Awesome.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Man.
Well, rest in peace to him, dude. He's a legit legend. So
yeah,
it's a bummer. 95, and he'd been retired for quite a while, but just like I said, I did a little mini Gene Hackman marathon this past weekend. I might do a few more this weekend too. He's just good in everything. Like he's in some bad movies, but he's not bad in
he's great at it.
In everything. Yeah. Even in Superman 4, he's good. And that's a terrible movie. Sorry, Dutch.
The first Superman where he's explaining the real estate scam to Superman.
Yeah.
He's doing it like a sales pitch. Like he's like, and that brings us to the new West Coast. My you know what I mean? That's he's talking my West Coast. Yeah. But it's very much like a sales. I'm like, what made him decide to do that? He's playing like a maniac, and he just plays it like a normal dude. That is oblivious to Superman.
Yeah. I also like that he refused to shave his actual hair off to play Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
So he is not bald in large chunks of the movies, which is also pretty funny.
Well, he's bald in the second one, right at the beginning, or he's got a bald cap on at least.
He's got a bald cap. Yeah, he never shaved his head. Yeah. Which is also funny. It's like Cesar Romero refusing to shave his mustache off
exactly
when he played the Joker.
Or Henry Cavill doing the same thing for Justice League.
God Almighty, yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
The biggest upper lip of all time.
Yeah.
All right. Here's some news that isn't pop culture related, but it definitely pertains to Gen X. From CNN, a study has found microplastics in the brains of individuals aged between 45 and 50, equivalent to a full-size plastic spoon. Which is
that explains a lot.
Yeah, which is 50% higher than in 2016. Microplastics were also found in the heart, blood vessels, lungs, liver, gastrointestinal tract, and balls of men. So that's fun.
So what is the study saying? How are we getting this stuff in our systems? Is it
just from what we eat, our food, and probably a lot? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, the air we breathe, the water we drink. It's just in everything. But I think
that's great.
I mean, well, I don't know how things are going to go going forward, but
is it getting better?
I think it was getting better, but I think our generation probably has the worst of it, and probably the millennials probably as well, because we were exposed to all kinds of goofy shit for food as kids
for far too long.
Yeah. So, but now who knows? I mean, they may disband the entire EPA tomorrow. So
anything goes.
Who knows? Yeah. Colin Farrell on The Penguin season 2. I don't want it. I don't not want it. That is his quote. We left it all in the ring in those 8 hours. I would hate to, just because of a quote unquote success, have to do it again, and for it to be a diluted version of what people seem to feel it is majoritively. So I'm in no rush. I have no deep desire to do it. Sure, if they think of something that works in conjunction as a parallel to Matt Reeves' cinematic universe, and it's a good idea, I'm open to it, but it's not something that is concerning me. That is from Variety, and I hope he's right, because
sounds like he doesn't want to put the makeup on.
Yeah, except in the movies. Which is way different doing a 2-hour movie than doing,
episodic
8 hours of a TV show.
Yeah.
And also, like, that story's told, and I don't know what else you need to tell. Like, especially if you're not going to have Batman in the show. Like, I think
they ended it perfectly. Yeah. They set him up. So they set him up for his brief scenes in the movies. Yeah. And that's all we need from him going forward.
Yeah. If they want to do a sequel series with Sophia Falcone, I'd be okay with that.
Same.
But I don't think you can do much more with his character unless you're going to have Batman in the show, and I don't think you're going to have Batman in the show. So I don't, I don't see where else they can really go with that. And then in Kaiju news, the Hollywood Reporter has reported, that Matthew Modine from Full Metal Jacket and Stranger Things, has joined the cast of the next MonsterVerse movie, playing some kind of a general, filming to begin in April in Australia. I'm sure it'll be a really well-rounded, well-written role for him, like all of the humans in those Godzilla and Kong movies.
This is the follow-up to Godzilla versus Kong.
Godzilla X Kong, yeah, the one with the that one, yeah,
the one with the Iron Man glove,
with the gauntlet, yeah.
Okay.
Another Variety article. Robert Downey Jr. is writing the backstory for Doctor Doom as Avengers Doomsday gets ready to start filming. It has been a very intense process. He's so immersed in it, so dialed in, according to the Russo brothers. So
I don't care about that.
Did you guys see some of the leaked?
He's writing the backstory for a character that already has backstory.
Already has, decades long backstories. Yeah. Did you guys see any of the leaked, not promotional art, but like pre-production art?
No, I avoided it.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I saw headlines that said it was there, but I avoided it.
Yeah. I don't know what you could make of it. I mean, there are a lot of various characters in them. So
I don't know who the Avengers are.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't know which collection of the existing ones would make me excited to see the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some of the promo art had Young Avengers, or pre-production art had Young Avengers in it. There was a whole bunch of different Hulks, She-Hulk, Hulk's kid. Some other Hulks. There was a whole group of like Thor type people, like Asgardians. I don't know.
In the comic version of Secret Wars, the more recent one, there are a ton of Thors, and they're like the police force for the world. Like Doom rules the world.
That's what this looked like. It was like Doom was sitting on a throne and in charge of pretty much everything, and then there were all these other groups of people. I don't know.
And each section of the world, each country or continent or whatever, was a different like multiversal thing. Like it was like the Old Man Logan world was one continent. The you know what I mean? Like different.
Yeah. I don't know, man. How does that work?
And I don't know, but I didn't read it. I didn't read the whole thing because it sounded stupid, and it makes me worry about the movie.
Yeah, I know. I'm there with you. Speaking of MCU, Sadie Sink, also from Stranger Things, has joined the MCU in Spider-Man 4, but no one knows who she's going to be. I've seen some rumors.
You cast a pretty redhead of that age and for a Spider-Man movie, and that's who do you think it's going to be?
I mean, you think they would do Mary Jane with already having an MJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I do, because they said MJ's name is Michelle, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So there's nothing to stop them from doing an MJ.
Yep.
I originally heard she was in works to play Jean Grey, but I don't see how that would work in a Spider-Man movie. So
no. In the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, there was a really kind of cool romance between him and Kitty Pryde. Like he teamed up with the X-Men, and they were both of the same age. They were both like 16 or something in the comics. Yeah. So they had a really.
I'd be okay with her being Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, they had a really cute relationship.
That might be interesting. That's she's the Black Cat, right?
Kitty Pryde is Shadow Cat from the X-Men. She's the one that phases it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know if they're going to introduce X-Men this soon, but who knows?
No, I don't think so, but
and then you know what? Did you know what comes out today?
What's that?
The Day the Earth Blew Up, which is the new Looney Tunes movie.
I have not heard anything about it.
Yeah, do you have any idea? It's out in theaters today.
The title seems ominous for a Looney Tunes movie.
Actually, I saw a trailer for it a long time ago, and it looks pretty entertaining. But the fact that it's just coming out and there's been no anything.
No, I haven't seen one thing about it. This is the first I'm hearing of it right now.
They haven't advertised it. They haven't done anything. It's like Warner Brothers just does not care about the
It's
Looney Tunes
theatrical release.
at all. Yeah, at all. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I just saw that it was out today.
I wonder if that's by design. If there's like financial reasons where maybe they're obligated to put it in theaters for some reason, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's cool if it did good because I would like to see that Coyote versus Acme movie if they ever, because that's a cool idea.
I hadn't heard about that either. You'll have to tell us about it.
Oh, we talked about that on here before, haven't we?
Did we?
Yeah.
Well, I'm old. I have too much. I have a plastic spoon in my brain. I don't know what you want me to remember.
Yeah, it's like a courtroom drama, where Wile E. Coyote is suing the Acme company because all of their.
Oh my God!
It's like done like Roger Rabbit. So the people are people and the cartoons are cartoons.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it's been indefinitely like it's been like used as a tax, like how they did Batgirl.
Yeah.
They're basically like, the movie is completely done, and they were like, "Nope, it's never going to see the light of day. We're just going to do a tax write-off."
That's for sure.
Got a bunch of like legit stars in it too. It looks really fucking funny.
If you were
comic,
if you were an actor at any level of celebrity, and they said, "Hey, do you want to be in this Coyote versus Acme movie?" You would say yes. You know what I mean? Like everybody loves that.
Yeah, why would you?
Everybody would hear that and say it's genius.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's such a funny idea.
Yeah.
So, what else? Oh, here's some local-ish news. The Spin Doctors, remember them?
Yes.
Yeah. The Spin Doctors are back with a new album and tour, but the band's gear was stolen on February 22nd from a storage unit, DMD Mini Storage in Penn Township, Pennsylvania. The missing equipment includes amplifiers, microphones, other accessories totaling more than $12,000 in value. Anyone with information on the Spin Doctors equipment should call the Pennsylvania State Police at Sellers Grove at 570-374-8145. That's a shame. $12,000. Anybody other than me watch or care about the Oscars? I didn't actually watch much of it either.
I didn't watch.
I got clips of it. I wanted to see Conan because I'm a big Conan O'Brien fan.
Yeah,
and I heard he did well. But I've just seen bits and pieces.
Yeah, that's all I've seen is little dribs and drabs.
I had only seen. I think we talked about it. I saw 2 out of the 10 movies that were up for it. So
I saw one.
There wasn't a lot of interest.
I'll talk about it when we do what we've been watching.
Mm-hmm.
But real quick, Best Picture, Anora. I didn't see it. Don't know what it's about.
Nope.
Best Director, Sean Baker for Anora. Best Actor, Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, which is the movie I saw.
Yeah.
Best Actress is I don't know if it's Mikey or Mickey Madison. It looks like Mikey Madison for Anora. Best Supporting Actor, Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain. He's awesome.
He is awesome.
Best Supporting Actress, Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. She's awesome also.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah. Best Original Score was The Brutalist. I saw that movie. The score didn't stand out, but okay.
Right.
Best International Feature Film, I'm Still Here. Best Cinematography, The Brutalist. Best Visual Effects, Dune Part 2.
Visuals are awesome.
Yeah,
that's one of the ones I saw.
Oh, it is? Yeah. Best Sound also was Dune Part 2. What else is of note? Best Makeup and Hairstyling, The Substance, which you saw.
That's Quinn's movie.
Yeah.
That's the other one I saw.
Best Adapted Screenplay is Conclave, which I kind of want to see.
I will see that one. I want to see that one.
It's like an interesting premise. It's about the selection of a new pope.
Well, I think it's a murder mystery. I think one of the cardinals killed him.
Oh, really? See, I didn't know that. Yeah. Spoilers. Best Animated Feature is Flow, which is that movie about the black cat that I keep trying to get my kid to watch with me, and she just refuses. So yeah, but that's the Oscars. That's our Oscar talk. Do we have any trailers to discuss? I don't think we do.
I saw a live action trailer for Lilo and Stitch the other day.
I saw a picture from it, but I didn't watch it.
So I guess it's just a money grab, but I don't get it if you're still going to animate the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't get the whole let's redo our cartoons with live action thing at all.
Well, it's a money grab, I'm sure.
I guess they make as long as they make money, they're just going to keep doing it. So
yeah, but yeah, I mean it's a regular movie with a CGI Stitch in it.
Yeah.
So.
And Stitch is cute.
Right. Yeah, I love the original. I thought he was awesome. Yeah. I love when he builds the city of blocks only to rampage through it like Godzilla.
Yeah, yeah. All
so,
right.
But and I haven't seen any other trailers for movies.
We got a Last of Us trailer, which I bet you didn't watch because didn't you say you're trying to avoid?
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid spoilers for that.
Yeah, so cool. So we don't need to discuss that either then. All right, well, we're gonna do things out of order, like I said. So right now we're gonna go back in the day. And I just saw this prior to we started recording. But Quinn, today, the 30th anniversary of the Faith No More classic King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime.
That's 30 years old. Are you shitting me?
That's So yeah, 30 years ago today that came out. That is their 5th studio album, their 3rd album with Mike Patton. And I would wager that there's not a bad song on that album. Ricochet is incredible. Evidence is incredible. The Gentle Art of Making Enemies is incredible.
I just listened to that the other day. King for a Day is great.
Incredible. King for a Day. The song is incredible. Just a Man is incredible. That's like top to bottom. Fantastic. It might be my favorite album of all time.
Now I want to hear that album again. That was one of those things when it came out. I was really afraid that the band, like I was going to leave the band behind. You know what I mean? Like their time was done.
Yeah.
So it was so refreshing when that came in. Is Last Cup of Sorrow on that one?
No, that's on the next.
Okay, so that's on the one after that because I had the same feeling about that. But yeah, and so it was so refreshing to get that album and have it just be amazing. It was a great feeling.
I waver back and forth between Angel Dust and this one as to which one's my favorite, and then that would make it my favorite album of all time. I tend to lean more toward this one, even though I do think Angel Dust is arguably like a better album. But
well, there's a difference between the best one and your favorite. You know what I mean? There always is. But I love Angel Dust so much.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with either one. That's just a band that's never put out anything bad. Like they're just, and they're so underrated.
I don't know if that's true, but
I fully. They're just and they're such an underrated '90s band that
they really are. Well, I think when they came out, they were seen as like a Chili Pepper knockoff, and that's just so not what they are.
Yeah, not at all. Well, it's just because of that one song.
Yeah.
Just because of Epic.
Well, it's just the heavy use of the bass and the with the rock songs and the. But yeah, that's a great album. 30 years old. Holy shit.
And thankfully, they never went the way of Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they're just making dad rock now. So so good for them. Movies, because like we said repeatedly, 1985 was 40 years ago. So the movies of March 1985, kind of a light month, honestly. But there's
what comes out in March?
Yeah, exactly. But there's a few. Some I do not know at all. Like this one, The Aviator. Don't know. Certain Fury. Don't know that one either. Then we have Missing
The Aviator. Isn't that the? There's like a Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
that's
Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's a different. Not
I mean, that's not it, but yeah.
Missing in Action: The Beginning. These are all from March 1st.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, Chuck Norris. The Purple Rose of Cairo, which I've heard of.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
What is that about?
That's it's in black. Like there's a black and white movie. I think Jeff Daniels is in it.
Okay.
It might be a Woody Allen movie. I'm not positive, but he comes off of the screen to like interact with the people. That's a good movie. I haven't seen it in, well, you said it was 40 years ago. I haven't seen it since like the years around that that time. But yeah, I remember really liking it. Which is dangerous to say when you haven't seen something in over 30 years.
Yeah, I know. And Woody Allen directed it.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true. I just think so.
Yeah. March 7th, one movie came out called Meantime. Don't know.
Nope.
What that is. March 8th, we have The Hit, My New Partner, and a little movie that we all know and love called Mask, which used to be on every weekend on TBS or TNT or one of those channels.
I don't think there is anybody our age that has not seen Mask. I think everybody in our age group
at least 5 times
has seen that movie.
That movie was on like every pay network.
It was on all the time.
Yeah, it was on all the time. Like they were trying to give it away. It was on. Yeah. That's what it felt like.
I just remember him on the beach trying to explain colors to the blind girl.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Dern is the blind girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cher is his mom. And who's her boyfriend? Is it Sam Elliott?
Yeah.
That plays her boyfriend?
Yeah, Sam Elliott.
I think so. That sounds right.
It's him.
Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Sam Elliott's awesome. The guy who never ages.
Yeah. Well, he does now.
He's looking pretty rough now.
Yeah.
Later on in March, we had Porky's Revenge, which I think is the third Porky's movie.
I think so.
You got me. In 85, I would have been 12, so I didn't see those for a couple of years.
Yeah, no, I didn't see those until I was well into my teens.
In March of 85, I'd have been 11.
Yeah. The Secret of the Sword, which I remember as being pretty decent. That was a fantasy. That's not the Sword in the Stone. That was a Secret of the Sword.
Different.
Yeah.
I don't remember
that. A little classic called The Last Dragon.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Show enough.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Currently on Netflix. I think it's about to leave Netflix.
Oh,
Bruce Leroy.
So
I love that movie.
Catches bullets with his teeth.
Am I the baddest?
Show enough.
Am I the illest?
Show enough. Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Who wins between Shredder and Show Enough? They fight.
Maybe Show Enough.
Show Enough probably win.
I think Show Enough gets that.
Show Enough is a great villain name.
Yeah, it is.
Oh man.
We also had Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. And movie I saw in the theater, Baby Secret of the Lost Legend, which is about a family of brontosauruses living deep in Africa. It's based on the legend of Mokili Mobembe, which is a real thing. Looks like Dogman, where supposedly in the deepest recesses of Africa there are the natives call this creature Mokili Mobembe, and it's supposedly like a brontosaurus. So that's what this movie's about.
Okay.
I saw that in the theater, and there are lots and lots and lots and lots of naked native boobies in it.
Yeah.
When you're 11 and 12, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Seeing it in the theater with my parents was a bit uncomfortable.
I vaguely remember that movie being out. I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a good flick.
I get that confused with like The Land Before Time in my memory.
No, this is a live action. Yeah.
Okay.
It actually has William Catt from The Greatest American Hero.
All right.
Yeah.
I forget who the female lead is though. End of the month we have Police Academy 2, their first assignment. Madonna's film debut, Desperately Seeking Susan, which I've still yet to see all the way through.
That movie is so long.
Yeah, everything I've ever seen of that movie, I have been bored out of my mind. So, and
yeah, it's done.
Yeah, and a movie that one of two animated movies that that put Hasbro off of making any animated theatrical releases. The first being Transformers the movie in 1986, but this was the Care Bears movie, which came out March of 1985 and flopped terribly.
Oh man.
Yeah, so
brutal.
Yeah,
just brutal.
Yeah. And then rounding out back in the day.
Again, and welcome to American Top 40. My name's Casey Kasem, and we're about to count down the 40 biggest hits in the USA.
Top 10 songs of the week of March 13th, 1985. Starting us off at number 10, a song that when I read the lyrics to now, I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe they played this on MTV and on the radio. Relax, don't do it. When you want to suck it, chew it. Relax, don't do it. When you want to come.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I remember singing that song when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was in my house in Pike Creek. I was singing it, and I remember my sister going, "You don't even know what that means," and me being like, "Yes, I do. It's like English." You know what I mean? Like with no concept. I was like, "Yes, I understood the words that I was saying," but no concept of the song.
How much older is your sister than you?
She's 3 years older than me.
Okay.
So at the time, she would have been, 15 or 16.
Yeah. I'm trying to think the first time I understood the meaning of "come" in that context. I want to say it was somebody explained it to me on a field trip. We were listening to AC/DC. You Shook Me All Night Long.
All right.
It was explained to me what she.
Yeah,
told me
they got that one line in it.
To come, but I was already there, man. And I was like, oh. And I still didn't quite grasp it. Like, okay. Number 9, a song that's been played many times on this podcast.
Private Dance. Tina Turner. Number 9. God rest her soul.
Yeah.
I wonder if people today realize how big Tina Turner was back then. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. It's her. Yeah, it's her and another person that's actually on this list that were both like, if you weren't alive then, you wouldn't really get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like they had their just moment. Like everything they touched turned to gold that year.
Yeah.
Yeah. She every single she put out off of that album was
crushed.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number
she
8.
Legit.
Number 8. This one, I feel like she's probably a one-hit wonder. Or one of you will correct me, but
Tina Louise.
Tina Marie.
No,
I'm gonna.
Tina Louise is Ginger from
Gilligan's
Island.
Gilligan's Island. Yeah.
Yeah, she was big in the Rick James era in the 70s. So,
okay.
Yeah, she was a very soulful voice. When she put out her first album, she didn't appear on it because she was afraid to show the world. Everybody thought she was black because the way she sounded.
Yeah.
She's not black?
So, no. She is.
I thought she was black till just right now.
You don't remember the video for it?
No.
Yeah.
Didn't she have like red curly hair?
Yeah.
Really?
I think it's somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta Google. I gotta Google Tina Marie.
She has a song with Rick James. It's very soulful. It's a duet. And you when you hear her voice, you think this is a black woman singing with Rick James.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. She's powerful voice.
Yeah, she's
And I remember when that came out, like she had all this cred that I didn't know what from because I had never heard of her, never seen anything or never heard anything by her. but she was like such a big deal already.
Yeah.
But I didn't know her backstory or anything like that, so it was all.
I'm sorry. The song is called "Fire and Desire" with Rick James and Tina Marie.
I'm Rick James. It's funny because me and Quinn obviously grew up like listening to different. Like you probably grew up listening. Your parents listened to different music than I would assume me and Quinn's parents listened to. So you definitely have more of a background. Like I would have not known any of that if you hadn't just told me. You would have told me that was her first and only hit. I'd have been like, "Yep, that seems right."
No,
since we became, aware of music, since we started listening to music, that was her only hit. You know what I mean? That's the only one that was in the kind of the popular mind.
Yeah, when you frame it like that, yes, but she's been out there,
right? But in the same way, like Prince was out there before he really broke through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he had all these songs in the '70s and stuff that we didn't know about until the '80s. We thought he was brand new.
Yeah, Prince has like a whole like crazy discography before.
Exactly, and that's what I mean. There's a lot of people from that era. Some of them broke through in the '80s, and some of them didn't. But that was her, like one breakthrough,
right?
And some of them broke through honestly because like MTV didn't have enough shit to play.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe not by 1985, but like if you look back at like the early '80s stuff, like
there's only so many times you can play the video for "Waiting on the Friend" by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A lot of that British
played
stuff,
every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah.
Start Me Up was another one that played a lot.
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the time.
And this is another one that I feel like has been played on this podcast quite a few times. And I believe when we did our top 100 songs of 1985, it was the number one song. But right now it's number 8. Why so low?
Careless Whisper?
Careless Whisper by.
That was the number one song of the year.
Yeah, for 1985, wasn't it? When we did our countdown, I feel like it was.
I don't remember. I got a plastic spoon in my head.
I feel like it was.
You know?
Yeah, I got a plastic spoon in my head.
I'm going to say that from now on whenever I can't remember anything.
Yeah, your boss is like, Quinn, what happened here? Look, man, I got a plastic spoon in my head. I don't know if you know this. Let's not even get into what's in my balls.
Me and everybody my age has a plastic spoon in their head.
Yeah.
All right. Then, following up that jam, we got this one, which I don't think's ever been played on this podcast.
Julian Lennon.
Yep, Late for Goodbyes, Julian Lennon. My
mother was a big Beatles fan, so that's what I grew up listening to was the Beatles.
Yeah.
So I was super excited for that song. Then he never did anything else, did he? I think he might have one other song.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Then we got the other person I was talking about who owned the '80s along with
Tina Turner.
But you wouldn't think it now. But here we go.
Oh man,
Phil Collins. I mean, dude, that guy. Like I said, man, that dude was like Mr. '80s. I feel like.
Yeah. If you played a drinking game with that song and drank every time he said "one more night," you would ruin your whole life.
Be hurting. Then we got at number 4. Oh, David Lee Roth.
That was his blow up year too. After as a solo artist.
Blew up in 1984, and then he did a solo thing in 1985.
Yeah,
like right on the heels of Van Halen really becoming huge.
But that was another one where that "I Ain't Got No Body" video was on constantly.
Yeah. Coming in at number 3, another song we've played a metric fuck ton of times on this podcast.
Yep.
Hero Girl.
Is that in her movie? I forget. I don't remember.
it's a good song. We've said many things about it in the past. I refer you back to previous podcasts. But here we go. Here we go. Number 2. You ready? You ready, Bolo?
Let's
I'm
hear
ready, brother.
Oh, hot yeah. Hell yeah.
The heat is on.
The heat is on.
Saxophone.
Glenn Fry from the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack.
Yep. Legit.
With Bolo's favorite saxophone part of all time.
Yes, sir.
Saxophone solo. And then number 1 for this week.
Oh, wow.
You know I love this.
I know you do.
It's so goddamn good.
That song sucks.
It's so goddamn good.
That song sucks, and you suck for liking it.
Oh my god! All right, so that is back in the day. I feel like for next episode, we should all watch Baby Secret of the Lost Land. I looked it up. I think it's like $3 to rent on Amazon. I'll just Venmo you guys all $3.
Do our own research.
So we can all research it. Yeah. All right. So that is back in the day. Let's get into what we've been watching and whatnot.
And now, our feature presentation.
All right. Before we jump into Daredevil, let's I know, but not yet, Bo. Not yet.
I gotta know.
Anybody seen anything else but other than Reacher and Daredevil, which we're going to talk about after this?
Is there a new episode of Reacher?
There is. It came out last night. I want to say.
I was going to say, isn't there one today? It comes out on Thursdays.
Or did it come out today? Okay, well, it's out.
Okay.
I watched it before we jumped.
I have not watched the newest episode, which will be today's.
Are you watching anything else interesting that you want?
No, nothing that I could rattle off outside of the series 1923. I think it's the
with Helen Mirren and Harrison.
Yes,
Ford?
Harrison Ford. Yes, great show.
How is that? Is it as good?
It's good. It's really good because you're getting a story from like 3 different angles. Like there's a son who's trying to get to the ranch with his wife. Him and his wife have been separated due to some crazy circumstance. Harrison Ford is trying to. He actually almost got killed in the show, but he survived that. And then there's another angle. It's all coming together. Like it's going to be a combination of the family coming together to save the ranch because the ranch is in danger, and there's people plotting to undermine.
Those ranches are always in danger.
Yeah, agreed.
How about you, Quinn? Anything other than the 2 main?
Not since the last time. I mean, we talked about The Gorge. I think that was the last movie I saw. I did decide to start. I haven't done it yet, but I decided to start watching Shrinking on Apple.
That's also
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, Harrison Ford's in that too. That's what made me think of it. A lot of people are talking it up at work. It's by the writers of Ted Lasso, apparently. And I've been getting clips of it online that have been making me laugh. So it seems to have good writing. So I'm going to pick that up here soon. But really, it's just been Reacher and Daredevil are the only ones I've been consistently keeping up with.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. We finished The Bear, all 3 seasons of that. Which
that show just seems stressful to me. Everybody says how great it is. It just seems stressful.
Yeah, I could see where the first few episodes, there are episodes that are extraordinarily stressful. But it's not like. It's weird. Like the show, every character in the show, from the most minor character to the main character, are all very likable. Like there's no villain. You know what I mean? There's no person that you're rooting against. There's no person that's like against the characters you like. Like everybody,
nobody constantly causing problems.
There are, but it's not like it's like silly, funny stuff. There's a lot of funny stuff in it, and the like you just root for everybody. You know what I mean? Like you end up rooting for all the characters. They're all going through their own shit. And you just want to see them all like do well. It's weird. Like I can't think of another show that I've ever watched where there's a lot of characters and all of them are unbelievably likable. And you don't want anything bad to happen to any of them. And honestly, like nothing really bad does. It's not that kind of show. Like, but it is stressful. I mean, it takes place in a restaurant. There's a lot of yelling. There's a lot of scenes of people yelling over top of each other.
Yeah, that's not great.
Because of the environment that it is in a restaurant like that. There's a Christmas episode that's done in it's like a flashback of a past where you're introduced to the main character and his sister's mom. And their brother Mike is in it. And the premise of the show is that this kid, Carmen, is like a master chef. He comes home because his brother Michael has killed himself and has left him their family's like hot beef restaurant in Chicago. Yeah. And Michael is played by God damn it, it's right on the tip of my tongue. The Punisher. What the hell is his name?
John Bernthal.
Yeah, John Bernthal.
Yeah, every scene that he's in the flashback he's incredible.
Love
he's
that
a
guy.
really good actor.
Yeah.
So
underrated.
Yeah. So there's a flashback scene where he's in the entire episode more or less, and like Bob from Better Call Saul. What the hell is his last name? Odenkirk. Yeah, is their uncle. The mom is played by Jamie Lee Curtis, and she's got like serious mental health problems and is raging alcoholic. And she's trying to cook this Christmas dinner. Quinn, you would probably tap out. But it's really good. And Jamie Lee Curtis is in it in multiple episodes as the mom, and she's like incredible. There's an episode where it's just her and the daughter for the most part. The daughter's having a baby, and they're in the hospital together. And if Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't win an Emmy for that episode, I'd be shocked. It's really good. But it's just good. I mean, I would say the third season doesn't advance the plot pretty much at all, which was a little disappointing. And hopefully season 4 is good. Season 4 starts in the summer. So, but I like it. I think it's worth checking out. Quinn, I think it would stress you out.
I have problems with stressful shows. I mean, that's just not why I watch TV. It's why I stopped watching.
It is kind of a comedy, though. Like, there's a lot of funny stuff in it. The dude who's playing the Thing in the Fantastic Four is fucking great in this show. Like, he is so good. So it's just, I like it. It's good. And then I watched The Brutalist because I had 3.5 hours to kill. And, it's a movie. I don't know, man. It's I don't know what I don't know.
You wouldn't run out and see it. Is Adrian Brody's performance better than Gene Hackman's in The French Connection?
He's very good in it.
They both won Best Actor.
Yeah, he's very good in it. Like everybody in it's really good. But like at the end of the day, like I don't know what it really was. It's just, it starts with him getting out of Nazi occupied Hungary. I think he's been freed from a prison camp, and it just follows his life all the way through to the 80s. And he's like an architect. And he meets this rich benefactor who wants to build a really large community center in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, of all places.
Really?
That's where the movie takes place. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, and it just kind of follows that. And there's ups and downs, and it's just
so it's like a 3.5 hour slice of life.
I wouldn't say it's a slice of life. it's hard to even describe it. It's just odd. I mean, I wasn't bored at any point. I'm just going to turn this off. Like, I wanted to finish it. There's an intermission, like a legit intermission. Yeah. And I turned it off at the intermission and went back to it the next day. So that worked out fine. But yeah. And this will be my second Doylestown reference, because did you notice in the newest episode of Reacher, Neely is wearing a shirt from a record store. And I didn't pay it any mind until I saw Doylestown underneath the logo. And it's for Siren Records, which is a real record store in Doylestown. And they actually, on their Facebook page, have screenshots of
that's pretty cool. I did not notice that, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And then speaking of Reacher,
how about Daredevil giving a shout out to King of Prussia? We're getting all sorts of local press.
Yeah, I know. I saw that too. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he also gives a shout out to Gino's Steaks.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit, because anybody from Philly, no one from Philly would say their favorite steak place.
See, that's why I think that's genius, because they're not from Philly. You know what I mean? Well, the two characters saying that are not from Philly.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So they would go to the touristy places.
They would go to and get the crappy steak. But we'll talk about that in a minute, because Reacher season 3, Amazon just put out their numbers for the first 19 days of streaming, has 54.6 million viewers so far. So I guess it's doing good. So Bolo,
we just repeating ourselves at this point about how great that show is.
I'm caught up on Reacher.
You are caught up on Reacher.
Yeah.
You watched the episode that came out today?
No, not today's episode.
Well, then you're not caught up. I don't think you understand what the word "caught up" means.
No. if it came out today,
then it's out.
It's out, but I have not watched it.
So you are not caught up.
Hence, by the laws of caught up, you would be what we call behind.
By the laws of caught up.
So have you both watched it today?
Yes, yeah.
I did not watch today's episode. No.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
So you didn't see the Doylestown thing either. So you'll see it when Neely is there's a part with Neely coming up in the episode, where she's wearing a T-shirt from a record store in Doylestown. All right.
When did you watch this?
I watched it when I got home from work. Well, I was eating dinner. Because Brandy went out to dinner with a friend, so I was like, I'm just going to eat dinner in front of the TV.
I'm not allowed to watch it. I have to watch it. Denise has to watch it with me.
That's the same thing with me.
Yeah.
I got to watch it with my wife.
Yeah. It's, but I mean, even if we don't talk about this last episode, it's just really solidly good. This episode is phenomenal. So I'll just leave it.
You know what's funny? What's funny is watching this series and then going back and watching the Tom Cruise Reacher.
Yeah,
you can see elements of the character. You know what I mean? Like, because this Reacher is apparently super faithful to the book.
Yeah,
you know, this is how he looks and acts, right? And if you go back and watch the Tom Cruise movies, you can see him doing that. Yeah. And when I watched those, it was just Tom Cruise to me. I've never read the books. I don't know how he's supposed to be. But I just rewatched that scene. I forget which one it is, where the guys hassle him at the bar. He's sitting at the bar and the girl comes up to him, and then the guys hassle him. He takes him out in the street.
Yep. That's awesome.
He is doing the Reacher thing. Like, he is talking like that. He sounds like that. He's being an asshole for no reason, like Reacher is.
Yeah, he's only 5'5". That's the problem.
Exactly, but the problem is he's 5'5". But I just thought that was really funny, because I was like, oh, maybe this is good acting, because that's what the character is. Right. So maybe Alan Rickson, or whatever his name is not the worst actor in the world.
I think he's funny as shit. The episode prior to this one, where he's
that's hiding, the one that's where we're up to, is the episode prior to this.
Yeah, where he's hiding behind the garage, and the guy Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall is like, "What are you doing back there?" And he was like, "I had to take a leak." And he's like, "We have 15 bathrooms in the house. What do you?" He's like, "Well, I was outside."
What made me laugh really hard in the last one was when the scene cuts to him and he's just sitting on the end of the bed with no expression, like Putty, Putty from Seinfeld was just
yeah.
It lingers there for like a full minute before somebody comes to the door, and he just doesn't move at all. I'm like, what is this? What am I watching? He's like a robot man.
Man. I love it. It's so good. I'm so bummed. There's only 2 episodes left after this one.
So there's 3 left for us.
Yeah, 3 left for you guys. Yeah.
For
those of us that are caught up, there's only 2.
By the laws of caught up.
By laws of caught upness, I only have 2 left. All right. So, people who do not want Daredevil spoilers, now's the time to say goodbye. Thanks for listening, and tell your friends to listen to the podcast. All right. Daredevil spoilers in 3, 2, 1. All right, Daredevil. So, we've got 3 episodes. Bolo, you are caught up on Daredevil, correct?
I am caught up. According to the laws of caught upness,
all right.
I have seen all the Daredevil episodes.
All right, good. I mean, what are your thoughts? What are your guys' thoughts?
My thoughts are I'm thoroughly enjoying Daredevil. I'm kind of upset that it seems that Bullseye was underused in the thus far anyway, because that sequence with them fighting up to the top of that building was freaking fantastic. All the dives that were in Daredevil's uniform, in his chest, in his back.
So so the show starts off with Foggy and Karen and Matt from the original Netflix series. They're in a bar. They're like, are they celebrating something or just hanging out? I guess it doesn't matter.
They're just hanging out.
Yeah, there's tons of other characters in there from the thing.
It's an end of day. They're getting out of work.
Just kind of
hanging. The bar, hanging.
Did you get a little sexual tension between him and Karen?
Yeah, she said, "You want to get out of here?"
Straight up said, "Do you want to?" Yeah, because that was never. They never hooked up in the show, though, right?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, they got together. Yeah,
I don't remember that at all.
He tapped that.
Did he?
I think he did.
I mean, I know
they have in the comics they definitely have a thing.
Well, I know. I'm just saying in the comics, he pretty much sleeps with everybody and anything.
Yeah, Daredevil bangs everybody in the comics.
Yeah.
But he has a long-standing thing with Karen Page.
Yeah.
And in the comics, she turns out to be a real piece of shit.
Frank Miller turned her into a junkie, but that's because Frank Miller hates women, but I can't write them to save his life. But
not only is she a junkie, she sells his secret identity for drugs.
Because she's a junkie.
Yeah.
A no good woman junkie, the worst kind of junkies.
One of those.
One of those women junkies I've heard so much about. Always selling out superhero secret identities for
drugs,
for a little bit of smack. I like that they explored her drug side in season 3, where it had those flashbacks of her, where she was selling.
Yeah, I don't really remember that too much. I don't remember. I just have flashes of season 3. I
mean, it's so long ago.
Plastic spoon. But let me give you my impression real quick. I know you're doing a recap, but the vibe of this show is different from the Netflix show. And I don't know what I was expecting, but they're trying to combine the vibe of the Netflix show with kind of the vibe of the MCU. And it's not a smooth blend. I'm getting it's off somehow. So it's a little Sometimes it's the Netflix show, sometimes it's the MCU, and it's throwing me off. So I was a little disappointed in that fight in the beginning. First of all, when he swings onto the scene, the CGI is bad.
Yeah, that's agreed.
In the very first shot,
that whole opening sequence with him as Daredevil, I felt like had a lot of bad CGI.
The whole fight in the downstairs of the bar is bad, and not. It's confusing. It's chaotic. There's a lot going on, and it's just bad. And then,
wait a minute. One of the highlights. Let me jump in there. The highlight, it was in Bullseye takes a pull ball from that table and ricochets it. That was great.
Everything Bullseye does is awesome.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Bullseye in season 3 was perfect.
Yes, I agree with that. Holy shit.
And like his whole arc made me really pissed that the show was canceled because he was so good. But that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like the paperclip that kills the bug was very MCU in what was supposed to be like the Netflix moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't mind the paperclip killing the bug.
What's that?
I didn't mind that paperclip killing the bug thing. I thought that was kind of
I didn't mind it either, but it was the tone I'm talking about was really hard to settle into. Now the fight, once they get into the stairwell, was way better. The stairwell to the roof was way better.
Right.
The way he throws him off the roof was perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like abrupt, just really
trash.
really violent. But like I said, like those tones don't mesh together as well. So, Foggy getting shot. I hated it. I hated it. There's a lot of internet rumors that it's a fake, but
I hope it's not a fake. I would hate it if it was a fake.
If it's a fake, I hope they do it well. But
this is a year after the opening, so Foggy gets shot and killed.
Yeah,
and then Karen moves to California. And then
Foggy also beforehand gets killed right as he looks like he has his life together.
Yeah,
he's lost weight, he's tall, he's got that beard going.
Yeah. He looks
hitting
good.
on the girl,
hitting on the DA. Yeah.
So,
but I can't envision any logical way that they would write him faking his own death and then keeping it a secret from all of his friends for over a year that has now gone by. Like what?
Well,
what
in the comics,
reason would he do it?
In the comics, the reason they do it, like there's a lot of internet rumors that say there's a run in the comics. I think it's issue like 438 or something like that, or 468, where Foggy is killed. But then it's a fake because he's going into the witness protection program for something.
Yeah. I've heard that I know that comic exists, or that story.
But whatever number that is, whatever number that issue is, I forget what it is on the building when he's killed. Yeah. So that have left a lot of fans thinking that, that's an obvious callback to that one where he fakes his death. But it also wouldn't make sense because what did he enlist Bullseye?
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
Bleeding. He's on the ground bleeding for a long time. And the show makes a point to have Daredevil hear his heart beating the entire time he's fighting Bullseye. And then when he hears it finally stop is when he throws Bullseye off the roof.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a really nice touch, by the way. They really do Daredevil's powers great.
Yeah.
On the show.
Yeah, it's awesome. And
go ahead.
You have to, and then he throws him off the roof, and he's not dead again. Like,
face first. He hits the pavement face first.
Yeah, off of a high roof too. It's not like
it's 5 stories, dude.
Yeah, it's not like he
minimum. It's 5 stories.
Yeah, it's not like he throws them off of a single-story house.
Yeah,
correct.
So that I thought that was a little bit like
onto the street, not grass.
onto the pavement.
Yeah, head first.
Yeah.
Oh,
which to follow that up, then if you go back to, and I feel like some of this might be because things were filmed and then they went and did reshoots of other things to add, because that whole fight. If you remember the rumors before the show came out, the show was going to open with Foggy already dead and Karen having already moved away. Like they were never going to be in the show. And then there was, I guess, Kevin Feige or whoever was like, well, we need to get them in the show. And so they wanted to squash that rumor because people were like, no, dude, how can you not have them in the show? So that whole opening sequence was shot after the fact. So that's probably why there's a lot of janky CG in that part too.
Maybe.
And
it
also,
did look thrown together, which is weird to have in the first 5 minutes of your show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also probably why, he throws him off the roof and then later on you see him testifying against him in court and he doesn't seem all that much worse for the wear for being thrown off of a roof.
No, he doesn't.
Nah.
Which I also think then at the end of episode 2, which I think is actually a better fight than the roof fight.
1,000 times.
Where he fights those 2 cops.
Yeah, the fight with the cops in the apartment building. I thought he killed him.
So did I.
I thought he killed both of them.
I mean, dude, he throws that dude down onto the floor neck first.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, God.
And then in episode 3, that dude has a black eye.
Yeah.
Like, what? You know what I mean? So I feel like that was also a result of some stuff was already filmed, and then they filmed something else, and they just kind of did their best to like sync it up, because that dude should have should have had a neck brace and a walker and had his arm. I mean, didn't he break one of the dude's arms?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Badly.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So that I thought was a little bit
you
weird.
see bone.
Too. Yeah.
Oh,
I thought that was a little weird too. So far in the show, we're 3 episodes in. We've got Foggy dead. Karen of the picture. She shows up a little bit more in episode 1, and then she's like out.
We have Kingpin as the mayor.
We have Kingpin, who is the mayor now. Well, episode 1, but at the end of episode 1, he is elected mayor. And now he is the mayor. Vanessa, his wife, is back, which is cool. They were originally they originally did recast her, and then when they did reshoots, they actually got, I guess there was a scheduling issue, and so they got the actress back, which I'm glad because I like her.
Yeah,
I like her too. She's running the criminal empire.
Yeah, so she's running his criminal empire, and he's going legit, but I'm sure he's really not. And then you've got the first arc of the show, which is him defending a vigilante named White Tiger who kills a cop.
Undercover cop. Yeah.
By accident, because he sees 3 cops beating up a dude. Goes to help, and the cops don't identify themselves. They just start beating him up, and one of them slips and falls on the train tracks and gets killed by the subway. And then
did he slip, or did he just push him?
He shrugs him off, maybe.
Yeah, he shrugs him off.
Yeah, I don't think he pushed him in front of the subway.
He just did a sidestep move,
Yeah.
and the guy's momentum took him in front of a train.
Yeah.
But like when he said he slipped and fell, like he said on the stand, he slipped and fell, and I'm at home. I'm like, I don't know if that tells the story.
The thing you said that's interesting to me about the MCU and how it feels like it's straddling the Netflix universe and the MCU. There's still no mention of any major MCU things. You know,
we got a Spider-Man reference.
Yes, we did.
Got that. But you didn't get any Avengers reference. Like, I feel like
but you know what they did do?
Really was real. People would be talking about the Avengers all the fucking time.
Do you know what they did do, Brian? Which I wanted to point out is the White Tiger, this vigilante he's protecting, has like an amulet that gives him power.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
They talk about it like it's nothing.
Like nothing. Like it's so nonchalant about it. He's like, well, when he killed that guy, he wasn't wearing his magic amulet.
Yeah.
The judge is just like, good point.
He goes, I didn't even have my amulet with me, and nobody says shit.
Yeah, everybody's just like, well, he didn't have his amulet with him, and
nobody's like, what amulet? What relevance does that have with anything? Nobody questions it.
My magic tiger amulet. So, yeah, because nobody's like, all right, let's get this man a straitjacket.
Exactly. So you're like, yes, we're part of a world that has crazy shit in it, but you would still expect a little bit of maybe for the audience, just throw us a bone. Your magic what now?
Yeah. What?
You know what I mean? Like,
what powers does it give you?
Yeah. Because he tells it to the judge, like Matt Murdock tells the judge, he
explains
wearing his magic amulet, and the judge is just like, okay, like instead of being like his what, he
says it in court to the jury.
Yeah.
He doesn't explain it to the jury,
but I do admit I like that it's just so common, because this is a world where half the population disappeared and then came back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I wish some of the main characters had disappeared for 5 years. You've got Kingpin in the Netflix show.
Yeah.
And you've got Kingpin in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Kingpin in Hawkeye is so different than the Kingpin in the Netflix show and in this show that it's almost like a completely different character. Because in the Hawkeye show, he's dressed in his Hawaiian shirt. Yeah. And he's kind of like street level. And he's not in, at the end of Daredevil.
Well, what's his status?
He's in jail. At the end of Daredevil season 3, he's in jail. And then he appears in Hawkeye out of jail. And Hawkeye knows who he is and knows that he's trouble, because when he realizes it's Kingpin, he's like, fuck. But he's not like, he doesn't come off as like a criminal mastermind like he is in this show. And I
don't remember. I'd have to watch it again.
I don't know.
I just remember him he gets shot by Echo.
And they reference that in the show. Like, that's a thing that happened, but he's healed.
And he does have a scar. He does have scars by the side of his eyes, but it's hilarious when they reference it. When it's like, he's talking about his protege, and he's like, what'd she do? Shoot you in the face?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then episode 3 came out 2 days ago, and that is almost entirely a courtroom setting.
That's the White Tiger trial.
He has not appeared in his Daredevil suit at all, except in the opening 5 minutes of the show. He does get into a really good fight, like we said in episode 2. There's no real action sequence in this entire episode until the very end.
Unless you count the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, the guy he gets off, he does get the White Tiger off. He is found not guilty.
It's a weird way to say that.
He goes back to vigilanteing, and is immediately shot in the head by an unseen figure who is dressed just like the Punisher. I assure you, it is not the Punisher.
It can't be, because he doesn't kill bad guys or good guys.
No, good guys. And you keep seeing, and I love it that you keep seeing all the cops with the Punisher tattoos.
Yeah.
Which is so awesome that they're doing that, because it's such a real life jab at cops, or just the general bootlicker population that loves putting Punisher shit on their vehicles, and having no concept of what the Punisher stands for in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, having no moral compass whatsoever.
Yeah, I love that all the cops have Punisher tattoos, because I guarantee you by the end of this season, he comes back. The Punisher will show up and will fuck up some cops. I have a feeling. I think, and I wouldn't be surprised if Karen Page is the person that sets that in motion, because she has a connection. She has a really good connection with him.
What, you think she's going to get in trouble or get killed or something? And
no, I don't think she'll get killed. I just think it'll something will come back where it's on her. I'm sure that I would hope that they use her since they didn't kill her off.
Yeah. I did not finish the Punisher season 2, so I'm not sure where he was left off after that.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. I did finish it. So yeah, he's definitely in this season. I guess there is more White Tiger coming up, but it obviously won't be this White Tiger.
Yeah.
But
well, the actor passed away also, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really sad. He did a really good job.
He was great.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, man, so far, I didn't know what to think after the first 2 episodes. I feel like if they would have dropped all 3 of these episodes in one chunk, it would have flowed better because I feel like it wraps up that entire opening part of the show.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I want to, but I mean, I need to see some actual in-suit Daredevil stuff here soon. I mean, we're going into episode 4. I really hope at some point. I don't want to wait till the last episode for him to put the suit on. I'd be pretty annoyed.
Agreed. I really liked the show, but I didn't love the show after the first 2 episodes. The third one was better. The third one got me invested a little more. You know what I mean? You kind of get wrapped up in both sides of his life. Like, it's really interesting to hear him talk to White Tiger about the evils of being a vigilante. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the pit,
and how he won't miss it. He stops.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really interesting. And then it was really interesting hearing him defend, the White Tiger and his vigil in court, and the fact that he's a hero and it's just part of who he is and everything. When he is not doing that, you know what I mean? When he's kind of given up that life.
Yeah.
I really like the therapist girl that he's dating.
Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah, I like her a lot. That angle is weird where she's doing couples therapy for the Kingpin. I don't know that I care for that. But I like the DA that's his partner now. She's not a DA, but she's
the former DA.
Yeah, she's just his law partner.
Yeah.
I like their relationship. So I really like the Matt Murdock stuff.
Yeah, I like Cherry, the guy who they've got as their private eye.
Yeah,
he's cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot to like about it there. But to your point, I think it's a good setup. This third one, I'm done with setup now. Right. The third one was all the setup I need. Now let's see him versus Kingpin.
Yeah.
I like Kingpin's little crew with Chase got James Gandolfini's son.
Yeah.
And that prick who's his right-hand guy.
Yeah.
Who's like British or something.
Yeah. I think the way the episode 3 ended definitely sets up a very angry Matt Murdock. With this guy being gunned down, literally like right after he was found not guilty. So, yeah, apparently I don't know anything about White Tiger. What I've heard and read is that in the comics, his magical amulet almost has like an addictive quality that he's like drawn to wearing it. So like he can't just stop being a vigilante. So that's interesting. If I think someone else is going to end up taking up that mantle, which is cool. I don't think we've seen the last of Bullseye either. I would be sure. I'm sure we probably haven't.
I hope not. He did not like the way he's been portrayed in these episodes. He could be anybody. Like there's nothing special about the performance. So I was a little disappointed then, from when we last saw him in season 3, where he was amazing. Yeah. So I don't know.
And we also haven't seen like Scary Kingpin yet either, which I'm sure is coming. When he becomes fully enraged and
when he gets physical, it's frightening.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, I think a lot of people are putting a lot of stock into the Netflix show, and like as much as I enjoyed the Netflix show, it wasn't like the perfect superhero show by any stretch of the imagination. I felt like they were
compared to what was out though, it was the most
at the time it was
visceral.
incredible. But I mean, even as I would watch them though, there were definitely stretches where I'd be like that they could have condensed this down by like 2 episodes. Like they didn't have to drag it out 13 episodes. So, you know, I think when it's all set right now, I have high hopes. I like it. Daredevil is like one of my favorite, you know, characters. I hope he gets into an actual MCU movie at some point. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And you know, I just like seeing like the street level stuff too, though. So
same.
Yep.
And I love the zeroing in on the heartbeats. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is this guy lying or not? You know,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's good. Definitely.
I love that his glasses are red. His Matt Murdock glasses are red.
Awesome.
That's a nice touch.
He plays being blind so well.
Yeah.
Like it's actually crazy. Like when he's not wearing his glasses.
Yeah.
Like it does not look like a guy.
His eyes look like they don't work.
Yeah. It's nuts.
He's acting like a blind person. like a legit blind person.
And I like that the character, not the actor, but the actual character isn't acting blind. Like he is actually blind. Like when he goes to his closet and picks out a suit, like he does it with his hands. And it's not like, well, I can actually see. I'm just, you know, like that cop is kind of implying when he sees him in the bathroom, like,
right.
You know,
he's like the blind lawyer that can fight. Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm pretty goddamn happy with it all in all.
I'm invested. It's good to have it's Daredevil's on Tuesdays and Reachers on Thursdays. That's a good week.
Yeah, it's a good
week. That's about all the time I have for TV. You know what I mean? So that's like perfect.
Yeah. It works out good. So
yeah,
cool. All right, I think that is all we got. That is all we got. We do got an email, Gen X Lounge, the Gen X Lounge @gmail.com. You can also send text messages. You can also tell your friends because we love that. And I think that is it, unless you guys have anything else.
Nah, man. Hopefully by this time, next time we talk, Steelers will have a quarterback.
It's gonna be Aaron Rodgers.
It's hopefully not Aaron Rodgers, but it looks like it's going that way.
Oh wow!
But we can do some football next time.
Yeah, you guys signed a bunch of a few ex-Eagles.
Yeah, they got an Eagles organizational guy on the staff. I don't know if he's like the head scout or like he's some sort of assistant GM or something like that helped build the Eagles teams. So ever since they hired him, they've been getting a lot of ex-Eagles.
Oh, nice. Cool. All right. Well, that was
ready for football.
All right, gents. It was good to chat with you guys. Everybody, thanks so much for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.